Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Perry Presents. Today, I'm super excited to be joined by the incredibly talented Aaron Blair, which is really exciting. Welcome to my channel.
Thank you for having me. Yes. So excited.
So, you've now left and Juliet, and you are doing some amazing things, which is really, really exciting. So, obviously, you've got new music coming. So, first and foremost, I wanted to ask you, what can people expect from you as an artist?
Oh, that's a lovely question. I think ultimately what I want to do with my music and what I want to be putting out is positive, uplifting, feel good vibes, because that kind of is, I like to think what I am and who I am as a person. Ultimately, I think it's going to be very expressive, very colorful, very vibrant, but at the same time, it's the one medium, the one kind of art form where I can inherently be myself. Because as an independent artist, as an independent pop artist, and someone who writes, and loves to collaborate, I think it's the vessel that I feel I can play. As an actor, sometimes you're fulfilling someone else's vision. And even in my writing projects, we're often working in teams and we might have deadlines and certain arcs to hit. But yeah, for this like pop fantasy moment that I'm on the cusp of exploring, I think it is about making fun moments for myself and
Absolutely.
for my fans, for my community.
Love that. And of course, I'm always proud to say, always be happy to be yourself, which is exactly what you're doing. You're taking your own journey now and making your own path, which is super exciting. So we've got to talk about your new song. So it's called Diving Back In. Can you tell me a bit more about the song and what it's about?
Yes. So actually, I wrote the song with my two friends in LA who actually I've been working with for a while, called Pete White and Jen Lucy Cook, and we wrote it in August, at the very end of August, just right before the famed bank holiday weekend. And actually, they're in LA, so we did it remotely over Zoom. We love Zoom, and the kind of, I guess, writing sessions for me in writing camps kind of feel like therapy. So I was just talking about a night that I'd been on actually like the week before, when things kind of relaxed and reopened over here in the UK back last August 2020. And that set the precedent for the song. It's very much a true story. I was actually walking through the streets of Soho with a GNT in my hand. I didn't feel quite comfortable enough to be out properly, but I could roam the streets with my pals, and yeah, I caught someone's eye and we had a cute little flirt. And then I bumped into them later on. I couldn't believe it. And they kissed me, which was very, very bold and brave and brazen, especially in the midst of a pandemic. But it felt like a rom com. I was living my best kind of rom com moment, actually, meet cute, and that kind of formed the basis. But I think the reason why I wanted to launch with it first, and why it is this kind of introductory song to who I am, is because the hook, encapsulates what we're all feeling right now. I think we're all ready to be diving back into spontaneity and adventure and flirtation. So yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, we've all missed it, haven't we? Like, even just like hugging people, that one thing that we loved doing so much that was taken away from us so suddenly. It's certainly nice to kind of start to get back to normal, and that's exactly kind of what this song touches on. But I'm just more intrigued by these lyrics because they're flirty, but they're also really fun and meaningful. It says, I'm diving back in, not dipping, but swimming below the surface. I'm down, down, deep.
Not dipping, but swimming below the surface. I'm down, down, now I'm diving back in.
Do you want to tell us a little bit more about why you chose that particular reference in the song?
Yes. I mean, obviously, it's quite an allegorical song because you could be saying diving back into life, diving back into the dating pool, diving back into a moment, if you know what I'm saying. And I think with the not dipping but swimming is saying I'm not just going to dip my toe in, I'm fully immersing myself into play and exploration. And it's okay not to always be in pursuit of getting to a final destination, and actually sometimes just enjoying the journey. And I think that's part of the play and the light of the song, is that you can kiss many a frog. You don't always have to be in search of your prince, princess, non-binary royalty figure, right? You can be looking to have adventures along the way. So I think that was the not dipping but swimming below the surface. I am looking at myself, speaking personally, because obviously as the co-writer of the song, is that I'm looking to get in deep and get into moments and situations and explore people, explore myself and uncover who I am. And who knows, I might meet the love of my life. I mean, I'm not looking for it. If it happens, That's great, you know? So I think sometimes when you take your foot off the gas and you just succumb to the moment, you surprise yourself.
Absolutely. And there's this really rich lyric which I'm absolutely obsessed with. You say grunge and velvet tequila on my tongue. Now, was this
Yeah.
tequila out in Soho, or is this again like a metaphor for something else?
Kind of a little bit of both. So I did go to like this outdoor bar little moment, like courtyard, and there it was very grungy and velvety. And I was literally saying, "Oh yeah, there was like grunge and there was lots of velvet." And Joe was like, "Put that in, let's do it, grunge and velvet." And I was drinking tequila, so I love tequila. It's a stimulant. I'm not a big drinker, but if I am going to drink tequila, it's probably my choice. Yeah, so that was kind of just painting the picture of actually telling the truth. And I think sometimes, well, actually, not even sometimes, all the time, I'm really trying to lean into being as autobiographical as possible and sprinkling in some little
Yeah, and it
pixie
really
dust.
tells a story as well. As I said, that's so descriptive, and I could just imagine myself in this kind of situation, getting ready, having a cheeky tequila shot or two, depending on what kind of night it is. And then also, there's just so many good lyrics in this. It says, this one's a little bit more mysterious. That kind of, I think everybody can kind of relate to this. It says, "You say you want to play with me, but can you reach the top shelf?" I think this was on one of your teasers on Twitter, which I love. So, what exactly do you mean by that? Where did that come about?
So you say you want to play with me, but can you reach the top shelf? It's actually a running joke within like even my family. I used to have like long straight hair, a quiff, and my friends and family used to call me Black Hen. So that kind of was always in the back of my mind. And when I knew I wanted to make this video, one of the setups, I wanted to kind of begin it in the confines of the kind of binary box and breaking out of that. So I lent into the Black Ken energy, or Asian Ken as well, as I'm Asian, but having that blue wig, living my NSYNC Team Rocket James from Team Rocket Fantasy. And I think with that caption, it very much encapsulates the notion of, oh, Kendall, do you want to come and play? But are you willing?
Yes,
And
yeah,
then my good friend Kush wrote an amazing comment where they said they're getting a ladder to climb up, and I was like, oh, you're already there, baby. They're amazing, and I love them so. Yeah, but I think it's just about being playful in this moment. And don't get me wrong, there's layers of the music, and some of the stuff I'll be putting out in the next coming months will be deeper and deeper, a lot more vulnerable. But where I'm at right now and what I wanted to put out, I think, is definitely this flirtation and this stimulation, hopefully.
Now falling, we're jumping, now looking for the love of my life.
yeah, super fun. So, obviously, you've spoken quite a lot about writing the songs, but what is the writing process like for maybe somebody who hasn't done that before? Obviously, you mentioned you have many a Zoom session. Do you start with the lyrics or do you start with the melody? What happened with this song? Can you talk us through a bit of the process?
Yes, absolutely. I think with this one, it was actually our first session together. I'd always wanted to write with them, and they've heard loads of my demos before. And I've made music years ago. I've been writing since I was 7, and I made music when I was 13, 14, 15. I got into a band when I was like 15, 16, but that fell apart. And then I had a near miss with something else. And then someone else scouted me to be in like a UK Black Eyed Peas, and that didn't happen. So there were loads of near misses. And then I started at 18 working in theatre and musical theatre. And 10 years later, here we are. But in terms of writing for this song, I think, like I said, I was saying loads of stories and just anecdotes, catching Jen and Pete up, and Pete suddenly said, I've got a bass line idea. And then we started like jumping off of each other, and I think that was formed the basis. But it really depends on what mood we're in, who I'm writing with. I write by myself sometimes, I write with my friend Phoebe Street. There are a lot of people that I like collaborating with and playing with. So you kind of gauge the energy of the day and the mood that you're in. Sometimes you come with a lyric, or you come with a title, or you might come with a phrase. Sometimes you come with a melody. But I would encourage anyone who wants to write just to write, because ultimately you can choose as a songwriter how you want to say, what cadence you want to say. Don't get me wrong, there's almost like Max Martin, he has an amazing way of writing. There's almost like a science and an art that intersects when he makes songs. And there's a kind of genius. There's docs on YouTube that people can watch of how he constructs songs. It's incredible. But I think, and I love that, but I think also it's art. So kind of say what you want to say and sing what you want to sing, and lean into or don't lean into whatever is on vogue in that moment. I think with this, I just wanted to be true to myself, and Jen and Pete really encouraged that, and I'm really grateful for that. So
Yeah, it's all about freedom, as you said before,
exactly.
So that's really, really exciting.
I'm diving back in, not dipping, but swimming along the surface of down, 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 down.
So talking about kind of the genre of the music and kind of deciding what kind of artist you're wanting to become, have you got a favorite genre of music at all?
Ooh, I listen to a lot. I know it's probably a dancer. I think, what were my top genres last year on Spotify? I listen to a lot of R&B. I grew up on a lot of R&B. I love my disco. I love soul and Motown. I do enjoy rock, classic rock, especially. Hip hop is kind of always there in my household, was growing up, and UK garage. And then pop is like that the bay that's always been there and is just always changing and always cool. So those would probably be. I love house music as well and dance music. Yeah, anything with a little soul, a little swag, a little energy, and a nice little cadence that kind of gets me. And then my musical theatre,
Right?
you know.
Yeah.
I love Broadway moment. I love a big show tune. I love singing along to whether it's Spring Awakening or Heights or Legally Blonde or Wicked in the shower. I'll live my fantasy. I'll pretend to be Elphaba for a cute moment.
Yeah, absolutely. We would all love to have an Elphaba moment. So on that note as well, do you have any kind of music heroes that you've kind of looked up to since you were little? Because you mentioned you started, writing at such a young age. And was there anybody that particularly inspired you to write at all?
Ooh, you know who's a massive one, and this might be a curveball, but I think those that know me will not be surprised. I'm hugely inspired by Mariah Carey because she's a very proficient songwriter. I think she's written maybe 16 of her 19 number ones or
Wow,
18, 19,
what a
I
queen.
think. She's iconic and her vernacular is unparalleled. And she, as a kid, introduced me to some fabulous vocabulary and fabulous words. So I would say her, and I love just how she layers and stacks harmonies. But a lot of people, Janelle Monáe, I kind of have been listening to her since 2008, 2009. So that was quite formative for me because I was in sixth form around that time and I was kind of stepping into myself as a young teenager or a teenager. And then there's Prince, who's just undeniable as an artist, the MJs, the Ushers, the Alicia Keys.
Yeah.
Christina Aguilera Stripped was really instrumental to me growing up. Britney, I love. More like a dance aesthetic and vibe, but I do really enjoy it. But in terms of songwriting, I think I was always encouraged, by Mariah, I think, is a big influence.
Yeah, so I was just going to ask you actually, have you got an all-time fave Mariah track? Or, because I know you're such a big fan, can you pick a top 3?
Ooh, okay. As of today, as it stands, how I'm feeling, I love Breakdown actually, which is a bit of not quirky one, but like not one that necessarily. No, the Lambs know and love, but like if you were to ask my friend, "What's your favorite Mariah?" They'd be like, "We Belong Together," which is obviously a banger. But I love Breakdown. I love 4th of July, Fly Like a Bird, Circles. It kind of depends on the mood, and I think My Yours probably up there. That's so gorgeous. Yeah, I love her. I love Fantasy with ODB. She was the queen of collaborating with rap and hip hop artists and kind of made that thing that now everyone has emulated and copied. So she kind of set the precedent for that. So that's really inspiring.
She really did, an absolute queen. We love Mariah. So obviously you've touched on the writing process and creating music. But if you could give any advice to any aspiring music artists who are perhaps just starting out or don't know where to start, what kind of advice would you give them?
Oh, I would say it's okay to make mistakes. You don't have to put out the most perfect product, perfect song. That doesn't exist. Perfection doesn't exist. So I think actually just do what makes you happy in that moment. And it's also okay to change and evolve and grow. Some of your faves have started in one way and they develop and grow. Like, look at Billie Eilish. She's incredible. She's such an incredible artist, and she's adapting and changing and growing up right before our eyes. Or even Ariana. Look at Chloe and Halle. They work as a duo, but then Chloe's going solo career. Halle's going to blow us all away as Ariel, blow us all out of the water. And I think it's allowing yourself to have fun. And I don't know, it isn't the music business, music industry, but I would really say, I'm at the beginning of this next chapter, but I think one thing have taken away from theatre is that the best times, the best shows for me and the best situations and memories are when I'm actually satiated in my soul and like really enjoying it with my heart and just sitting in the moment rather than wishing away the time for what's next, what's next. So I think we had to link that to music, and dreaming of maybe making music for life is that I'm not trying to chase down accolades. I'm just trying to make some moments.
Yeah,
you know?
absolutely. And on that, actually, I was going to ask, because this is jumping the gun a little bit, and I just thought, you know, we've got Diving Back In. Obviously, that's out right now when this video is live. Can fans of yours expect an EP or an album somewhere in the future?
Oh, for sure, definitely. We actually will have. There'll be 2 more songs before the end of the year.
Okay,
So
I
just
like
like
it.
single moments, and then there'll be some nice sonic surprises before spring is officially here. So there'll be like some moments, some musical moments to anchor hopefully all the fans and the gorgeous people that have supported me. And then I'll be gigging in spring, and as we push forward, we've already got another. I don't know how I do that many, but let's say there's like enough to take us through to next Halloween.
Very exciting. So lots of exciting things to look forward to. Diving Back In is out right now, everybody. So be sure to go and stream, download it, watch the music video, support Aaron, follow him all over social media. Thank you so much for your time, Aaron, today. It's been amazing chatting to you. Can't wait to see what the future holds. It was an absolute pleasure
Lovely
chatting.
to see you. Lovely to see you.
So great to see you, but thank you for today, and look forward to seeing you very soon. See you later.
Bye.
Falling